I told my husband, since he doesn't have my back, I won't take care of his daughter anymore. My stepdaughter, Isabel, is 17. For 3 years, I've been the one doing everything. Her bio mom lives across the country with her new family and calls maybe twice a year, usually on Isabel's birthday and Christmas. Meanwhile, I'm the one waking up at 5:45 a.m. to drive Isabel to volleyball practice, packing her lunches with those expensive protein bars she likes, sitting through parent-teacher conferences, and spending my weekends helping her with college applications. I never asked for a trophy. I just loved this kid and wanted her to succeed. Last month, Isabel came to me with her phone showing me this massive Lululemon haul, $800 worth of leggings, sports bras, and hoodies. I looked at the total and took a breath. Okay, here's the deal, I said. Keep your grades above a B average, do your weekend chores without me nagging, and we'll split this. I'll pay half as an early birthday gift. She hugged me. You're the best, Mom. That mom hit. She'd started calling me that about a year ago. 2 weeks went by. Her room became a war zone. Clothes everywhere. Dishes growing science experiments. I'd remind her about our deal, and she'd say, yeah, I know, but nothing changed. Report card came home, 3 C's and a D in history. I sat her down at the kitchen table. Isabel, we talked about this. No shopping trip until your grades improve. She stared at her phone. That's not fair. Everyone has those outfits for games. Life's not fair. The deal was clear. She rolled her eyes and walked away. 10 minutes later, I heard her on the phone in her room, voice all shaky and dramatic. She was calling her dad at work. He came home 2 hours early, pulled me into our bedroom, and closed the door. Just buy her the clothes, he said. She's stressed about college application. It's not that serious. My stomach dropped. We made an agreement. She needs to learn responsibility. You're being too hard on her, he said, not meeting my eyes. Besides, she's not even your real daughter. Maybe you don't understand the pressure she's under. I felt like I'd been slapped. Those words just hung in the air. Not your real daughter. After 3 years of being the only mother figure she actually had, I looked at him for a long moment. You're absolutely right. I'm not her real parent. The next morning, I didn't wake Isabel up for practice. I made myself coffee and sat in the kitchen reading. Around 6:15, she came running downstairs in her practice gear, panicking. Mom, we're late. Coach is gonna kill me. I sipped my coffee. Ask your real parent. She stared at me confused. What? Your dad's your real parent. He can drive you. My husband came stumbling down in his pajamas. What's going on? Your daughter needs a ride to practice, I said calmly. He looked between us, completely lost. But you always... Not anymore. They left in chaos. Isabel forgot her water bottle and knee pads. My husband was still in his slippers. That afternoon, I didn't start dinner. I ordered takeout for myself. When they came home at 7:00, Isabel looked around the kitchen. What's for dinner? I don't know. What did your real parents make? My husband pulled me aside. Okay, I get it. You're mad, but you're being petty. I'm being exactly what you told me to be. Not her parent. Day 2, no laundry. Isabel's volleyball uniform sat dirty in the hamper. She had practice that evening. Mom, I don't have a clean uniform. Sounds like a problem for your real mom. She called her bio mom. Got voicemail. Isabel had to wear her backup uniform that was 2 sizes too small. She was humiliated. Day 3, Isabel's college essay sat untouched on the counter. The deadline was in 48 hours. She'd been procrastinating for weeks, and I'd usually sit with her to brainstorm. Not this time. She came to me, tears in her eyes. Someone recorded Dad at my game last week. She pulled up a video on her phone. I watched my husband in the bleachers, talking to another parent I didn't recognize. The phone's mic picked up his voice clearly. Yeah, my wife's great with Isabel, does everything. Makes it easy for me to focus on work. He laughed. Honestly, I barely parent anymore. Why would I? The other parent asked, what happens when Isabel goes to college? My husband shrugged. Probably get divorced. Won't need the help anymore. I sat there on our couch, staring at the paused video on Isabel's phone. Her face was red and blotchy from crying, mascara running down her cheeks. She looked so young right then, you know? Like she was 12 again instead of 17. And I realized this was probably the first time she'd actually seen her dad for who he really was. How long have you had this? I asked, my voice coming out way calmer than I felt. Since yesterday, she whispered. I kept watching it over and over, thinking maybe I heard it wrong. I pressed play again, watched my husband laugh. That same laugh he used when we watched comedies together on Friday nights. The laugh I used to love. Why would I? He said again on the screen. I handed the phone back to her. Where is he now? Work. He said he had a late meeting. She wiped her nose with her sleeve. Mom, I'm so sorry. I didn't know he... Don't, I said, cutting her off. This isn't on you. But honestly, part of me was so angry at her too. For calling him when I said no to the shopping trip, for not backing me up, for taking his side without even thinking about mine. I know that's messed up because she's just a kid, but I'm human, right? And I was hurt. She sat there twisting her volleyball bracelet around her wrist, this nervous habit she'd had since freshman year. What are you gonna do? I don't know yet. That was a lie. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I was going to show him that video and watch him try to explain his way out of it. I wanted to see his face. When he realized he got caught, he came home around 8:30 that night. I was sitting at the kitchen table with my laptop open, pretending to work on some emails. Isabel was in her room, probably listening through her door. "Hey babe," he said, kissing the top of my head like nothing was wrong. Like he hadn't just told a stranger he was planning our divorce. "What's for dinner?" Didn't make any. He stopped mid-step on his way to the fridge. "Again?" "Yeah, again." He turned around and I could see the irritation on his face. "Okay, what's this about? You've been acting weird for days." I pulled out my phone, opened the video Isabel had sent me, and slid it across the table. "Watch this." He picked it up, confused at first. Then I watched his face change as he recognized his own voice. The color drained out of him. His jaw went slack. He looked like someone had punched him in the stomach. The video ended. Silence. "Where did you?" he started. "Does it matter where I got it? Is it true?" He set the phone down carefully, like it might explode. "Okay, listen. You're taking this out of context." Out of context? I almost laughed. "Please, explain the context where probably get divorced, won't need the help anymore, means something different." I was venting, he said, his voice getting defensive. Dave was going on and on about his wife, and I was frustrated about the fight we had about the Lululemon thing. I didn't mean it. You said it to a stranger at a volleyball game. He's not a stranger, he's Dave. His daughter is on Isabel's team. I don't care if he's the Pope, I said, my voice rising. "You told someone you're planning to divorce me the second our daughter goes to college. You said you barely parent. You called me the help." "I didn't call you the help. Makes it easy for me to focus on work." "That's exactly what you said, like I'm your employee." He ran his hands through his hair, pacing now. "I was just talking. Guys say stupid stuff when they're what? Being honest? No, when they're trying to sound cool or whatever. You know how guys are." "Actually, I don't. Because the guys I know don't talk about their wives like their household staff they're planning to fire." He stopped pacing. "I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry I said it. But you're blowing this way out of proportion. Say it again." I said, "What?" "The sorry part. Say it again and actually mean it this time." He sighed. This big dramatic sigh like I was the unreasonable one. "I'm sorry that I said those things. They came out wrong. They came out exactly how you meant them. That's not fair." "You know what's not fair?" I stood up and I was shaking now. "I have spent 3 years raising your daughter. 3 years of 5:45 a.m. wake-ups. 3 years of parent-teacher conferences where I'm the only one who shows up. 3 years of college application essays and volleyball tournaments and teaching her how to do her taxes and checking on her when she's sad about her bio mom forgetting her birthday again. I know you do a lot. I'm not finished. 3 years of being called not her real parent when I don't let her have her way. 3 years of you undermining me every single time I try to teach her responsibility. And the whole time, you've been thinking of me as temporary, as someone you'll dump the second she's gone. I didn't say I would dump you. Probably get divorced. Those were your exact words." He opened his mouth, closed it, tried again. "I was exaggerating. I say stuff I don't mean all the time. Name one time." "What? Name one time you said something you didn't mean. One time that actually mattered." He couldn't. He just stood there, looking at me like I was supposed to let this go. Like this was just another fight we'd sleep off and forget about. "I want you to sleep in the guest room tonight," I said. "Come on." "I'm not asking." He grabbed his phone off the table, gave me this look like I was being crazy, and walked out. I heard him stomp up the stairs, heard the guest room door slam. Isabel appeared in the kitchen doorway about 10 seconds later. Are you guys?" "We're fine," I lied. "Go to bed." She didn't move. "I shouldn't have shown you that video." "Yes, you should have. And I'm glad you did." She bit her lip. "He's gonna be mad at me. He'll get over it." I walked over and pulled her into a hug. She was taller than me by an inch now, but she still curled into me like she was little. "None of this is your fault. You hear me?" She nodded against my shoulder. That night I didn't sleep. I just lay there in our bed. My bed, I guess, staring at the ceiling, thinking about every time he'd said I was overreacting, every time he'd picked Isabel's side over mine, every time he'd made me feel crazy for expecting basic respect. And honestly, the worst part wasn't even what he said. It was that he genuinely seemed to believe his own backpedaling. Like saying it out loud to someone else didn't count as real. Like the video was fake or edited or something, even though it clearly wasn't. The next morning, he tried to apologize again over coffee. Kept saying, "You're taking it out of context." Like, if he just said it enough times, I'd start to believe him. I replayed the video 3 more times right there at the table, made him watch it with me. He flinched every time his own voice said, "Probably get divorced." "Okay, I get it," he finally said. "I messed up, but can we please move past this?" "No." "What do you mean no?" "I mean no. We're not moving past this, not yet." He left for work angry. I spent the morning applying for apartments. Over the next 2 days, Isabel avoided me. She'd come downstairs, see me in the kitchen, and immediately turn around. When I finally cornered her after school on day 2, she got defensive right away. "Why are you mad at me?" she asked, crossing her arms. "I'm not mad at you." "Yes, you are. You've been weird since I showed you the video." I took a breath. "I'm not mad, I'm hurt. There's a difference." "Dad said you're overreacting," she said, and there it was. The thing I knew was coming. He said he didn't mean it that way, and you're making a huge deal out of nothing. "And what do you think?" She looked at the floor. "I don't know. I mean, I don't understand why you're being like this. It's just words. Just words," I repeated. "Yeah, like he says stupid stuff sometimes." "Why does it matter?" I wanted to scream, to shake her and make her understand that words do matter, that what your parent says about you when you're not around matters, that being treated like disposable help matters. But she was 17 and parroting whatever made her avoid the uncomfortable truth that she'd been part of the problem. "Isabel, do you remember when you called me mom for the first time?" She shrugged. "Not really. It was at Chipotle. You were ordering and you turned to me and said, 'Mom, can I get extra cheese?' Like it was the most natural thing in the world. And you didn't even realize you did it until the cashier smiled at us." "Okay?" She was getting more defensive, I could tell. "Do you know how that made me feel?" "I guess. Good. It made me feel like I mattered, like 3 years of showing up for you actually meant something." I stepped closer to her. "Your dad told a stranger that the second you leave for college, he's divorcing me. He reduced 3 years of me being your mom to being the help he won't need anymore. So when you stand here and tell me I'm overreacting, what you're really saying is that all of it, all the early mornings and college essays and volleyball games, didn't matter to you either." Her face crumpled. "That's not... I didn't mean..." "I know you didn't. But think about what you just said. Think about whose side you're taking." She stood there, tears starting to form, and I could see her brain working through it. The cognitive dissonance of wanting to believe her dad while also knowing deep down that what he said was messed up. "I don't want you guys to get divorced," she finally whispered. "I don't want that either, but I'm not going to be someone's temporary solution anymore." She left, went to her room, and didn't come out for dinner. And me, I realized I had nothing to fill my days with anymore. Like the silent treatment was supposed to be this power move, right? This way to make them realize how much they needed me. But instead, I just sat there during Isabel's practice time, in my house, and the silence was unbearable. My friends, the ones I had before I became Isabel's chauffeur, they'd stopped inviting me places years ago. I was always busy with her schedule, always had to drive her somewhere or help her with something. I'd become so wrapped up in being her mom that I'd forgotten to be anything else. So I started getting petty, and not even in a dramatic way, just these small things that felt shamefully good. I'd accidentally unplug Isabel's phone charger overnight, so she'd wake up to a dead phone and be late getting ready. I'd move the car keys from the hook by the door to random places, so my husband would waste 10 minutes looking for them every morning. I reorganized the kitchen so nothing was where they expected, put the cereal in the cabinet above the fridge, moved all the utensils to different drawers, swapped the coffee and tea, and you know what? It felt amazing. Watching him open 3 different cabinets looking for a coffee mug, watching Isabel panic over her dead phone. I knew it was wrong. I knew it was immature, but I couldn't stop. My husband tried to apologize multiple times over the next week, but every apology came with a caveat. "I'm sorry, but I just think you're being sensitive," or "I apologize for what I said, but Isabel doesn't understand why you're mad at her." He was positioning himself as the mediator between 2 unreasonable women, the rational one trying to bring peace to the crazy people in his life. And the worst part? He wasn't even being malicious about it. He genuinely couldn't see what he'd done wrong. "Why can't you just forgive me?" he asked one night. I said I was sorry. "You said the words, 'I'm sorry.' That's not the same thing as actually being sorry. What do you want from me?" "I want you to understand why what you said was so hurtful." "I do understand." "No, you don't. If you understood, you wouldn't keep saying I'm being sensitive." He threw his hands up. "Fine. I'm a terrible husband. Is that what you want to hear? I want you to mean it when you apologize, not just say it to make me stop being mad." He didn't get it. I don't think he ever would. Meanwhile, Isabel was struggling. She started doing her own laundry and shrunk 2 uniforms in the dryer. She ran out of lunch money because nobody was checking her school account. She was late to practice 3 times in 1 week. And instead of apologizing, instead of recognizing cause and effect, she came to me annoyed. "Are you really going to let me fail because you're in a fight with Dad?" she asked, standing in my bedroom doorway. "I'm not letting you do anything. You're 17. You should be able to handle your own laundry. I didn't know you had to use cold water for the uniforms. And now you do. Congratulations, you learned something. You're being mean, she said, her voice cracking. I'm being exactly what your dad told me to be, not your parent. She stood there for a second, and I thought maybe she was going to actually get it. But instead, she just said, whatever, and left. That night, I did something I'm not proud of. I went through Isabel's room, not dramatically. I wasn't throwing things around or going full FBI. I just opened drawers, looked in her closet, poked around her desk. I was looking for something to hurt my feelings with. If I'm being completely honest, something to validate this. Anger I felt, and I found it. In her desk drawer, under some old homework assignments, there was a screenshot from a group chat, dated 6 months ago. Isabel's text read, "Stepmom is annoying me about homework again, like she's actually my mom LOL." Her friend responded, "Ugh, parents are the worst." Another friend, far, just ignore her. Isabel, trust me, I am. I stood there holding the paper, this stupid printed screenshot, and I felt like someone had reached into my chest and squeezed. It was such typical teen stuff, right? Complaining about the adults in your life. Every kid does it. But it destroyed me, because 6 months ago, I was helping her study for her SATs. 6 months ago, I was the one who took her to urgent care when she sprained her ankle at practice. 6 months ago, I was buying her those protein bars she liked and putting them in her lunch bag with little notes, and she was laughing at me with her friends. Like she's actually my mom LOL. I took a picture of the screenshot with my phone, opened our family group chat, started typing, "Funny thing I found in Isabel's room today," attached the photo, hovered my thumb over send, sat there for 20 minutes just staring at my screen. I wanted to hurt her. I wanted them both to feel as small and stupid and replaceable as I felt. I wanted everyone to know that while I was breaking my back for this family, they were mocking me behind my back. My thumb shook over that send button. 20 minutes. Then I deleted the message and closed my phone, because that's when I realized I wanted to hurt a 17-year-old's feelings. I was sitting in her room, going through her private stuff, planning to publicly embarrass her, and for what? To win an argument? To prove I was right? I felt disgusted with myself, put the screenshot back exactly where I found it, left her room and went to take a shower, where I sat on the floor and cried for a solid 30 minutes. The next day, my husband's sister called to check in. I should have known it was a setup. She was all sweet at first, asking how I was doing, if everything was okay. So I told her. I vented everything. The video, the "not your real daughter" comment, the divorce joke, the way he kept apologizing but not apologizing, the way Isabel was treating me. I expected support. She was a woman. She was married. Surely she'd understand. "I mean," she said carefully, "you knew what you were signing up for with a stepdaughter, right?" I physically recoiled from my phone. "Excuse me? I'm not trying to be rude, but like, she's not your kid. You married someone with a teenager. There were always going to be challenges. I'm aware she's not my biological child, and my brother can be thoughtless sometimes. We all know that. But he clearly didn't mean anything by what he said. He loves you. He told a stranger he's planning to divorce me. He was venting. Men say stupid stuff when they're with their buddies. You're kind of making this into a bigger deal than it needs to be, don't you think?" There it was. Even his family saw me as dramatic, as unreasonable, as someone making a mountain out of a molehill. "I have to go," I said. "Don't be mad, I'm just trying to help." I hung up. That night, Isabel came home with her boyfriend, this kid named Tyler, who was perfectly nice, but also perfectly boring. They were laughing about something when they walked in. "Hey, Dad," Isabel called out. "Tyler's here." My husband came out from his office. "Hey, bud, good to see you." They did this whole handshake hug thing that teenage boys do. Then Isabel gestured at me on the couch. "This is my dad and his wife," she said to Tyler. Not even my name. His wife. Tyler smiled at me all polite. "Nice to meet you, Mrs." He trailed off, clearly not knowing my last name. "Nice to meet you too," I said, because what else could I say? They went upstairs. My husband went back to his office, and I sat there on the couch watching some HGTV show I wasn't paying attention to, thinking about how Isabel had been introducing me this way for months, maybe years, to her friends at school, to her volleyball teammates, to boys she was dating. My dad and his wife, not my stepmom, not even my dad's wife, my name, just his wife, like I was an accessory, like I came with the house. I thought about the parent-teacher conferences where I'd introduced myself as Isabel's mom, and the teachers would make that face, that confused face. And Isabel would never correct them, would never say, "She's my stepmom, but she's the one who helps me with everything." She just let them be confused. I grabbed my laptop and started looking at apartments. For real this time, not just browsing, actually filling out applications, calculating what I could afford on my salary alone. My husband walked into the living room around 10 p.m., saw what I was doing, and stopped. "What are you doing?" "Looking at apartments." "You're being ridiculous." "Am I?" "Yes, you are. We had one fight, and now you're planning to move out? That's insane." "It wasn't one fight. It's been 3 years of fights." "That's not true." "Yes, it is. Every time I try to parent Isabel, you undermine me. Every time I ask you to back me up, you make me the bad guy. And now I find out you've been planning our divorce since before it even occurred to me." "I wasn't planning anything." "Then what were you doing?" He sat down on the couch, looking suddenly tired. "I was talking, just talking. I didn't think about it." "You're reading way too much into this." "How much should I read into probably get divorced, won't need the help anymore? You're never gonna let that go, are you?" "No," I said. "I don't think I am." He looked at me for a long moment, and I saw something in his face that I'd never seen before. Relief, like he was glad I was the one saying it, like he wanted this but didn't want to be the one to pull the trigger. "So what you want to do?" he asked. "I think I need some space to figure things out." "How much space?" "I don't know yet." He nodded slowly. "Okay, yeah, maybe that's for the best." And that was it. No begging, no dramatic fights, no "please don't leave me." Just acceptance, agreement, like I was making his life easier by leaving. "This is probably for the best," he said again. "We can figure out the details later." I nodded, not trusting myself to speak. "I'll help you pack," he offered. And he actually sounded upbeat about it, helpful, like he was assisting a friend move into a new place, not watching his marriage end. We spent the next 2 weeks boxing up my stuff. He was weirdly cheerful the whole time, kept making jokes, kept saying things like, "You're going to love having your own space, and this will be good for both of us." No fighting, no tears, no last-ditch efforts to save anything, just a quiet erasure of our marriage. I moved into a one-bedroom apartment across town on a Saturday. My husband helped carry boxes. Isabel stayed home, said she had homework. When everything was in the apartment and my husband was leaving, he hugged me. A real hug. Not a side hug or a polite pat. A full-body, both arms around me hug. "You're a good person," he said. "I hope you know that." Then he left. I stood in my empty apartment surrounded by boxes and felt absolutely nothing. Isabel texted me twice in the first month. Both times were questions about logistics. "Where did you put my birth certificate?" "Do you still have my social security card?" Not "how are you?" Not "I miss you." Not "can we talk?" Just "where's my stuff?" I responded with the locations, added "I love you" at the end of both texts. She left me on read both times. The second text, about the social security card, she needed it for a job application. I'd been the one to take her to get that card when she was 15, waited in the social security office for 3 hours with her, made a special laminated folder to keep it safe. And now she was asking me where it was like I was Google. I texted back, "It's in the blue folder in the filing cabinet, the one labeled Isabel, important docs. Good luck with the job application." 3 minutes later, "K, thanks." That was it. That was the entire conversation. I realized right then that she'd already recategorized me. I wasn't her mom anymore. I wasn't even her stepmom. I was just this woman who used to live in her house, someone who filed paperwork and knew where things were, a former household manager. I thought about texting her again, something real, something that would make her understand how much I loved her, how much I'd sacrificed, how much it hurt that she was treating me like an employee who quit. But I didn't, because what would it accomplish? She was 17 and had already decided who mattered in her life, and apparently, I wasn't on the list. My husband sent me the divorce papers 6 weeks after I moved out. He'd already filled everything out, already divided our assets. Fairly, I'll give him that. Already proposed a timeline. There was a sticky note on the front page. Figured we'd keep this simple. Thanks for everything. J. Thanks for everything. Like I'd catered his office party. I signed them, sent them back. We were divorced 3 months later. I drove by their house one evening in December, about 4 months after I'd moved out. I don't know why. I was just in the neighborhood, or that's what I told myself. Maybe I wanted to see if they were struggling, if the house looked messier, if they missed me. It was 6:30 p.m., that time right after dinner when we used to all be in the living room together. I slowed down as I passed, and I could see through the front window. They were sitting at the dining room table. My husband was laughing at something, his head thrown back. Isabel was smiling, this genuine, happy smile, and he had his arm around her shoulders. There were plates in front of them, looked like pizza boxes. The TV was on in the background. They looked fine. They looked completely fine. like nothing was missing, like the past 3 years of me being there had been completely optional, like they just swapped out one piece of furniture for another and didn't even notice the difference. I sat there in my car, engine running, watching them through the window. Isabel said something, and my husband laughed again. She high-fived him. They were fine, and I was the only one still broken by this. Thanks for watching till the end. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss the next story.